What's up, y'all? Polo Sports Talking Entertainment here again with another one. Be sure to hit that like button, sub to the channel if you're not a member, and also hit the notification so that you're able to get all of my content and all of my videos. Now, last night, as you know, Luka came in there and just straight up destroyed the Golden State Warriors. Uh, and lately, I gotta I gotta give Luka his flowers. Um, since Tim Hardaway Jr.'s absence, Luka Doncic has been on a tear. All right. Now, let me tell y'all what I mean. Okay. Now, if you looked at my previous videos criticizing him heavily, the one thing that I criticized Luka about was his selfishness. Okay, and he was very selfish and he was very inefficient. I just had to call it what it was. However, you can't say that as of late. Now look, over the last few games, this guy has, man, he has really been killing, and not so much with his with his scoring, but he's been doing it in terms of facilitating and in terms of and rebounds too. You know, like for instance, we know that he got 50. I mean, he poured in 51 against the LA Clippers back on February the 10th. He was 17 and 26, but what was impressive was the 9 rebounds, right? And then came back again against the Clippers and put up 45, shot well over 50%. But what was more impressive was the 15 rebounds. Then he had 21 against Miami. You know what I'm saying? Not really good shooting wise, but he gave an effort on the rebounding side on the rebounding end. Then came right back, poured in 49 against the Pelicans, and he was 17 to 35. But what was more impressive was the 15 rebounds. Uh, then I would say the last, give me 1 second, the last 2 games, okay, or actually 3 games, okay, against the Golden State Warriors, he had shot 10 or 21. Now he had 34 points, but like I said, what was more impressive was the 11 rebounds. And then he came back, against the Clippers. He had 25 points, 9 or 21 or whatnot, but eight rebounds. But then last night he put up 41 and he shot 15 to 26, a very great percentage. But he had 10 rebounds. So I'm looking at it, and he also had 9 assists too. He's been averaging 8.8 assists too as well. Now, some might say, okay, well, why did you change your mind this time? Well, the reason why I changed my mind is because he's taking it as a personal challenge to show people, okay, I can be a more team player, and also I can also score, get mines, also lead the team, and in addition to that, be able to do multiple things around. Listen, what's gonna make Luca better is him being able to do other things. And in order for him to do that, he's going to have to be in the proper shape, in the proper condition, in order for him to do that. So what I mean is that you can score all day, but if you're not taking your conditioning serious and all this other stuff, you're going to be at risk for injuries. And then on top of that, you're going to be gassed by the end of the game and really by the end of the season and won't be able to thrive in the postseason. Now, I know that the team has been doing well too around him. I've always been high on a guy like Jalen Brunson. We'll have to see how he responds to that injury, you know. But you know, for the most part, man, Luka really has been killing. Now the Golden State Warriors, that's a whole nother story. I'm gonna get on them. I got to talk about the Golden State Warriors because the Golden State Warriors, they're showing that they need Draymond Green and that that their defense has been very suspect. Now we could all sit up here and get on, real critical of Steph Curry. Yeah, you got to get on him too. But at the same token, it's the other people that you got to get on too as a whole too as well. And I'm not going to sit up here and you know make double teams and triple teams no excuses because the greats got double teamed. You know, a lot of the greats got double teamed. If you go back and look back into the time. But Luka, I was very critical of him, especially when he was saying, "Oh yeah, well I need to get into shape." Well, one of the things that made me get on his helmet was the fact that man, you should have been in shape. When you come into the season, you're supposed to already been in shape. Matter of fact, you played the Olympics. So that right there, that debunks everything that you said right there about you saying that, oh yeah, well I needed to get into shape and all this other stuff. Okay. Well, you're supposed to be the leader of that team, and that's what I got on his helmet about. However, I can't even, man, I got to give him his props. What I do on this channel, look, I'm not going to sit here and just criticize and critique everybody. Hey, when you're doing good, hey, I got to give him his props. Luka is a dynamic player. And what I've always said about this, in order for him to take his game to a whole nother level, he's got to do these two things. He's got to get himself into, tip top shape. I'm not saying he got to be ripped like a Kevin Willis or Karl Malone and none of that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Or you got to be shredded or anything like that. But you got to at least have some conditioning to where you could get up and down the floor and also last, you know, at the end of games because you are the leader, or you're at least the best player by many people's standards on the team or whatever. That doesn't necessarily make you a leader either. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can lead by example and everything. In my opinion, I think Jalen Brunson is more the leader because he's well needed and he does it with his point guard play. And on top of that, he's a tremendous coach on the floor. You know what I'm saying? Uh, do I see Dallas Mavericks, being a threat and a contender? Yeah, if they keep it up, you know. But Tim Hardaway Jr., that's a big loss. Whether we want to believe it or not, we can sit up here and act like Tim Hardaway. They don't need Tim Hardaway Jr. They listen. They need Tim Hardaway Jr. They're gonna need him, towards the postseason, and uh, they're also going to need him for his shooting and his defense. That's very key. But can the Mavericks be competitive and actually surprise a lot of people and come to maybe the first or the second and maybe even first? We'll see what happens. Now I don't see that happening depending on when they get Chris Paul back. I'm talking about Phoenix. They might get Chris Paul back and just pick up where they left off. Then on top of that, I know Memphis had took that L and everything, but I still can't go to sleep on Memphis either. You know, now if Luka keeps up playing the way that he's doing, and he does it for these last several games that need to be played, he could surge as a candidate for the MVP. Now will he get it? That's another question. I doubt it. Because he hasn't been consistent, the whole entire season. And this is another thing too. I wish that they would base it, the MVP too, more along the lines of not only the fact that hey, you're brilliant at what you do on the floor in terms of the offensive side of the ball, but also the intangibles and also the leadership quality too, because that's a big thing. You might have a team on there. You might have a team that is a, full of guys that are role players and everything, and you might be the only one doing everything, but you're still holding up. You understand what I'm saying? You're still able to hold things up. I think that type of criteria for an MVP, just in my opinion, should be validated. But that's just what I think. True Viking Queen, I see you in the building too. Sorry about that. you know, I just been I just been looking at that, and I look at a guy like Luka Doncic, man. You know, he could be so much better. People got to realize that this guy is still a baby. He's still a baby. He might look like he in his 30s, but he's still a baby, man, in terms of NBA standards. You know, and he still got a lot of room to grow. So I look for Luca to expand his game. I look for him to get better with his conditioning. He's proving game after game that no matter what, he's still going to go ahead. He's still going to go out there and compete. I wish that he would not complain a lot either. Complaining to the refs. He does cry a lot about the fouls. I think that's another thing he needs to cut it out with too. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to just be mentally strong. Can't be looking for the fouls all the time. You're just gonna have to play through some things. So hey, y'all let me know what you think, man. Leave your comments, like the video, share, subscribe, hit the notification so that you're able to be notified. Polo Sports Talking Entertainment, man. I'll get at you later.